say to the Minister, don't give us any garbage about the Tories having a plan. That's not a plan, it's a farce.
Now, did our Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper really expose not only the failings of the Home Office, but also the failure of our Home Secretary, Jimmy Dimley? Now, this was at the urgent question about the eventual publications of the 13 reports by the former Independent Chief Inspector of Borders and Immigration, the sacked David Neal, on the 29th of February, and on how the Inspectorate will now operate in the absence of a Chief Inspector or Deputy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We think of the family and friends of the 7-year-old who lost her life in the Channel this weekend. It matters more than ever to stop the criminal gangs and dangerous crossings that are undermining border security and putting so many lives at risk. Mr. Speaker, 13 Inspectorate reports, 1 NAO report with damning revelations on Britain's borders that the Tory Home Secretary has shamefully tried to bury or hide. And now he's gone into hiding himself. He should be doing a statement on these reports. They show shocking border security failures. Border and customs posts not staffed. In one airport, they were told customs is shut down for the summer. Equipment either broken, not available or untrusted, lack of anti-smuggling capability, protection of the border is neither effective nor efficient. So tell us, how many times have customs and border posts gone unstaffed this year? Does the Minister even know? How many high-risk private flights weren't checked in person? How long will there be no inspector in post? More findings. Only 2 people removed under the inadmissibility process they claimed would cover tens of thousands. 147 unaccompanied children who went missing, still not found. And on Rwanda, £400 million of taxpayers' money spent even if no one is sent. If 300 people go, it will be £580 million, over £500 million on a scheme that will cover less than 1% of UK asylum arrivals, nearly £2 million per person. I'll say to the Minister, don't give us any garbage about the Tories having a plan. That's not a plan, it's a farce. Why don't they stop wasting that money and instead put it into rebuilding border security and stopping the criminal gangs? That's Labour's plan. And finally, the revelation that the Home Office has gone a shocking £5 billion over budget this year because they failed on the backlog, on returns, on hotels and on Rwanda. 14 years of Tory government wasting taxpayers' money, weakening Britain's security. They've bust the Home Office budget, broken Britain's borders. Instead of hiding and running away, why don't they just get out of the way and let someone else do the job properly instead?
I think that was a contribution to the House full of sound bites, as ever, but absolutely light on policy substance. And, you know, the one thing that we hear time and again.
I think we'll leave that nonsense there. What a mess. An absolute mess. And she's absolutely right about Jimmy Dimley, ain't she? Where is he? Is he too gutless to face Yvette Cooper on this? He probably is in hiding because, judging by a question from Tory MP Tim Loughton, he asked if it was true that David Neal was sacked by a civil servant by a Teams call. And our Tom Pursglove ignored the question, so I'll take that as a bit of a given that he was sacked that way. And Tim Loughton also asked if anything from these reports have been redacted. And Tom's reply was this.
On the final point that my honourable friend raises, I will just want to go away and check on that point and write to him accordingly.
What do you think the answer is? So yes, our feeble Jimmy Dimley didn't have the balls to tell him to his face, so what makes you think he'll face Yvette Cooper then? And he then threw Tom Pursglove under the bus by the looks of it, didn't it? And let's be honest here, when it comes to these 13 reports, they didn't like what was in them, did they? And then they tried to bury him. And whether David Neal was right to do what he did, it certainly gave them the excuse to fire him, didn't it? But if he hadn't have leaked them reports, what's the bet that these reports wouldn't have seen the light of day until after the election? Whenever that is. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below and I shall bid you farewell and take care, my friends.